This time on Watchers of Tomorrow, Enterprise encounters Flatland.
Hello, welcome to Watchers of Tomorrow, the sci-fi review and critique show that is two-dimensional and flat, but also devoid of empathy. You see, it's a metaphor because everyone feels flat and empty, and they're dealing with flat things.
They're not dimensional.
Ah. Someone thought they were really cooking with that one. My name is Gepwin. I'm joined, as always, by my friend and co-host, Dr. Isix.
Hi.
This week, we get to talk about disability.
Does this mean that the entire crew has been disabled in some way and they're, been turned into children so that everyone sort of views them as, immature people and then they're, get some wacky hijinks?
No, that's later.
Oh, okay.
We haven't even introduced all the characters that are in that episode. No, this is the one where they decide to make a thing that's like a metaphor for cultural identity, but also a metaphor for disability, and handle both badly.
Yeah.
Well, I guess in a very 90s-ish way, but also it ties into some interesting theories we'll get to talk about. So we get to talk about theory.
Dun, dun, dun. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while since we got a chance to talk about political theory.
Not just the theory that politics has a theory behind.
That's somebody's political. My theory of politics is that politics has a theory. Politics is largely theoretical, and I don't believe in it. It's just a theory, like evolution.
Can you touch politics? I don't think so.
No, but politicians will sure touch you.
Yep, unfortunately, and wish they'd stop.
So this episode is called The Loss. Very subtle.
Like we're losing something.
It was written by Hilary Bader, who I find very, very interesting. She started out studying mime in Paris and then came to the U.S. to perform American folk tales, then interned for the Writers Guild and did freelance writing for Star Trek and also for Xena and also for Batman and Batman the cartoons and Batman Beyond and Superman and a bunch of comics.
So that's quite the adventure in different, creative fields and performance fields and things like that. Young Hercules.
Also, she's credited with writing 2 FMV Star Trek video games that we need to find and play. Star Trek Klingon and Star Trek Borg, where you play as a Klingon and a Borg. Described by one reviewer as a movie that you sometimes need to hit the mouse to see the next scene.
Star Trek Klingon. Choose your path adventure game where famous Klingon warrior Gowron sets up a simulated scenario for the player about young Klingon Pok, who Gowron helps find his father's murderer, as you do. The player also learns about Klingon culture.
So you'll be playing a Klingon going through the Age of Ascension.
Get ready for those pain sticks.
Yeah, probably a lot of pain sticks. One thing that we should have kept was FMV.
Yes, still occasionally games in that general genre that show up. They're just really rare. She also wrote Hero Worship and Dark Page, and all these seem to have a certain theme to them about, someone losing something or someone.
I also have my favorite number of guest stars, which is 1.5.
X.
Because I only actually have to talk about one person, because the other person just shows up for a minute. Fine. So, guest stars this week, we have Kim Barden playing Janet Brooks, or the other way around, maybe. Who's who? What did I do? Yeah, she's playing Janet Brooks. I wrote the last names wrong in my thing. There we go. Barden is the daughter of 2 UK actors and started acting at a very young age, with her most notable early role playing as Anne in the 70s Anne of Green Gables TV show.
Oh, yeah. I actively avoided that one.
I watched it because my mom liked it. I remember it being painfully boring, but I was probably too young for it.
Yeah. She's was also involved in, things before that, like Trog and Comedy Playhouse. Later, things like Laugh-In, Nobody's Perfect, Alien Nation.
Yeah, a lot of guest roles in your normal 80s and 90s things and Britishy things.
And would eventually go on to be in Star Trek Generations as Picard's wife.
Yeah, so she got over that husband.
Yeah. And, it entered the Nexus and put on a old school sort of dress
I mean,
thing
we'll
going on.
talk about this later. This has some implications. Like, if this is Picard's ideal wife as imagined by the Nexus, whatever, does this mean that Picard just, like, saw this woman running around his ship and was like, if only I'd gotten married someone like her. She's hot and old-timey looking.
Yeah, so we'll put these together, and the Nexus is like, here's your ideal.
Also, Mary Connart is playing Ensign Allenby, who is back for another episode as the replacement for Wesley. She sits in the Wesley chair.
Yeah. You need someone to, occasionally say stuff about navigation, and, well, she's here for this stretch of episodes.
Yeah, see, they were originally going to have, they had it figured out. They were going to have Geordi and Worf, and they were going to sit in those chairs and do Geordi and Worf things. And then they were like, fuck, we need these characters to do other shit. We don't have anybody to sit in this chair. We need someone to sit in this damn chair.
Well, we'll put Wesley here because, we need to specialize him into the young recruit who's super genius and all that. But we also need him to be around in episodes where he's not involved. And we'll put Data in the other one because, he's not doing other things all the time as well.
Yeah, and then they got rid of Wesley. I think it's kind of interesting to watch just in general because the set design trapped them into needing a certain number of characters that they don't have anymore.
Yep. They could have, maybe gotten a replacement of some sort and maybe just bring in, Mary Connart as just a regular.
But they don't do that. They just bring in a rotating who's who of random people to sit on the right side of the bridge.
Some of them are more interesting than others, and yeah.
Then they did that instead of trying to explain that they don't need that chair there anymore because it would mess up the symmetry.
Yeah, we're just going to combine navigation and ops here into one console, and maybe we'll give Worf a chair. He kind of looks like he needs it.
Yeah, I don't know why Worf doesn't get a chair. Tactical doesn't get a chair because they're strong and independent types.
They can lean forward on the counter there.
So, we come into therapy. Super exciting therapy.
Yes. So how are you feeling?
Tired. Usual, yeah.
Yeah.
So Troi is talking to one Lieutenant Brooks, who recently lost her husband, and she is doing fine, just fine, don't worry about it. Other people might be affected by the loss of a loved one, but not me. I'm fine and dandy and doing great.
I'm more powerful than all these other fools here, even though I've lost the person closest to me. Dang it, Troi, why do you have to keep prying?
Troi uses her super empathy powers that she has to go, I can see you are in fact not fine.
Did you know?
This is something only someone with super amazing empath superpowers could do, you see.
Yeah, totally.
On the bridge, Picard's trying to convince Riker to go to holographic horseback riding and implies very heavily that Riker is not man enough to handle a real steed.
Well, Riker does like to ride, just not horses.
No, let's stop that. Let's not.
Yeah.
This is the 90s. You're not allowed to say things like that. The children.
Think of the children.
Worf then detects something, and then not something, but then yes, maybe no, maybe not something that's there, but maybe not. Who knows?
Well, maybe we should rewind the sensor sweeps here and look at the records, or do we not have those?
They don't seem to have those.
Yeah,
they never go play that back. They need a dash cam.
Makes sense to have. Yeah.
Why does the Enterprise not have a dash cam?
You see, in the 22nd century, dash cams became haunted by the ghost of Zephyrin Cochrane, even though he's still alive at the time.
I don't know. They're the thing that the ghost of Jack the Ripper is inhabiting currently.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, the ghost of Jack the Ripper hangs around. We forget about him.
He may have been destroyed the one time, but he can come back,
Depends on which comic. And
maybe he and the candle ghost guy can hang out.
Yeah. And then they get into the holodeck with Moriarty.
Yes. We're all vaguely creepy guy characters who are really into women and, and being vapors.
I haven't looked at it because there's so many expanded universe novels and things, but I would be shocked if there is not a book or comic that has the Jack the Ripper ghost inhabiting the holodeck and having to be hunted and stopped by Moriarty.
That'd be awesome.
So they decide that they're going to stay and look into whatever is going on here, but they find nothing. So it's time to leave. And then when they try to leave, it doesn't work, and they don't go anywhere.
Huh. Well, did our ship break down randomly? Because, maybe that was a sensor ghost that was being caused by a glitch. Oh no, we got infected by a computer worm again.
Yeah, probably. The engines turn on and nothing happens. But they are moving, because something's pulling them along through space.
Well, it could just also be drifting. Oh, do they mean accelerating? Because,
they seem to be
actually
drifting, but I'm not really sure how they measure we stopped moving when they're in the middle of, nothing, interstellar space.
Keeping an eye on the distant stars is sort of the best way to see if you are moving relative to
but they're all
large-scale
also
structure
moving.
of the universe. Yeah. But, you kind of need to be paying a little bit of attention to, like, distant galaxies, and who knows if the Enterprise even has sensor suites that are designed for that sort of thing.
So, at the same time the Enterprise is getting stuck in space, Troi is having a bad time in her office. She's dizzy and she's spacing out, she's having headaches or something. She calls sickbay and Crusher's on her way, but there are a lot of people who, got knocked over or something when the ship shook around, so she'll be there as soon as she can.
It should be kind of noted that, she started having, like, the headaches and stuff and then passed out for a little bit before all the, other stuff started happening.
It's around the same time. They cut between them too often. It would be one sentence each if I tried to read it the way they do it in the thing.
Yeah.
So while Crusher looks at the rest of the crew, Geordi tries to get them out of whatever's going on. So he tries the engines again, but on impulse this time, but it doesn't work. They're still stuck. The bottom line here is they're stuck and they're not going anywhere. And they try to solve it the TV number of times, and it doesn't do anything.
Well, have you tried thrusters? Well, we can't. We've already tried it twice, so, we kind of need to stop.
Yeah, we have to try it twice and then come up with a slightly different word and then try it the third time so that it can work.
Yeah. Rules of 3 strikes again.
Crusher finally gets to Troi, who's actually not feeling that bad anymore.
Well, still, let's check out things.
Except
scan.
Now it's time to go to the observation lounge because there's a meeting. She's like, yeah, I guess I feel good enough for a meeting. Cool. Procrastination works, guys. So the long and short of the entire meeting is that they are stuck, but also moving. And no one's sure why, because there's nothing here.
Well, have you checked for any molasses?
Yeah, the Great Molasses Flood.
It's going to carry you away and slowly envelop you, and then you're going to be able to have...
Space molasses from space bees.
Yes.
Just randomly reminds me, I recently learned about hallucinogenic red honey, which is a real thing. I thought I thought they'd made it up for Sunless Sea, but I mean, the stuff in Sunless Sea is made up because it's about stealing people's dreams. But it's still hallucinogenic red honey, which is a real thing.
It's been a while since I played Sunless Sea. I got pretty good at it. I got the heart ship thing.
Yeah, the DLC ship.
Yeah.
I got the heart ship, but I'd already gotten the ship that was better than the heart ship, and I didn't realize I couldn't mount my Memento Mori on the heart ship, and then died immediately.
Alas.
Tell us that we should have a Patreon so we have a reason to stream video games together. So anyway, they're like, Troi, can you sense anything? She says, no, I sense nothing at all. And they go like, oh, fine. It's like, no, you don't understand. Nothing. Actually nothing. Nothing from anyone at all, ever. Something is actually wrong. Damn the inexactitude of English.
Yes. Wait, Troi, have you been pulled into a holodeck simulation of the Enterprise?
Yeah, she doesn't consider that one, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
So I don't sense anything from you. It's like you're all holodeck characters.
Yeah. Why would you think we were holodeck characters? Quick, try to reset again.
Crusher takes a look at her in sickbay. There is some sort of brain damage, but doctors in Starfleet know exclusively human biology. They don't know what it is because Betazoid brains are weird. They don't know what could have caused it. Might have something to do with whatever's going on, but who knows?
Yeah, it's like, we'll just watch and see. Coming back in 6 months, and we'll have another scan.
Yeah. That's like if they were in normal American medicine. Troi is confident with her brain's ability to heal, because apparently Betazoid brains do that. So she's going to be fine tomorrow. No problem at all. No reason to think about this. I'll just go back to work and everything will be fine.
Yes, everything will be fine, just like the lady dealing with her husband's death there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They rhyme. So Riker, who doesn't think anything is fine, goes to talk to Troi, but she doesn't want to talk because go away and stop being thoughtful and knowing me.
But I'm Zodi.
And she gives a weird little... I kind of hate it. I couldn't find anyone writing about this episode well from a disability perspective. I found some AI summaries that bugged me. It's impossible to do research anymore. But she gives a whole, I see people around you change when you get a disabling injury. And like, I've seen people talk about that. That's true. I think the way they ham-fist their way through this is not helpful.
There's kind of, the ham-fistedness as well as the time compression and all of this.
Yeah.
It's like, this has been like maybe a few hours.
Yeah, it's very time compressed. She's at denial.
Yeah, it's like,
and next there'll be anger. Then she'll be angry about something later.
And, maybe we should, I don't know, give a little breathing room in terms of, starting. It's like, okay, so, I've been in the situations where, my abilities have been suppressed for short periods of time. Maybe I'll just write it out like that. But we're going into no, I'm totally like, I've lost my ability forever sort of vibes right away.
Yep. It's been less than a day.
Yeah. It's like, all right, this isn't really any time to really kind of come to terms with anything or even really contradict the thing you said before about Betazoid brains healing easily. So,
yeah, if the whole thing is like, well, my brain will heal fine by tomorrow, why go back to work? Why not go take a nap?
Yeah.
So Data and Geordi are working on figuring out what's going on with the ship, the other plot that's massively less important. They launch a probe to get a better view of the situation. The probe doesn't really help until they do something called virtual particle trajectory. And then it shows a bunch of things moving, which because you projected pathway of particles. Like, God, what are all those things moving? It's like, probably the particles.
Yeah. So, this sort of idea is a thing that is used in physics on occasion to sort of study the structures of things like the Earth's magnetic field, where you build a model and you shoot virtual particles into the model and see how they behave. Do they hang out, and cluster in some clump over here, or do they, scatter about, that sort of thing. And what you're really kind of doing is studying the statistical behavior of particles within, a field structure. And so the sensors, by doing this, have to be observing some sort of field structure that is driving forces that would impact these virtual particles. So a better way they maybe should have looked at this would be to, show us the field dynamics of this, our scans here. And, there's something that's going to be pulling here. And this might imply that there is something generating these fields.
Something's affecting the field.
Yeah.
Even from a very novice standpoint, just from the words they're using, they go, give me some virtual particles. And they look at the screen and go, oh my God, where'd all those particles come from?
Yeah. So this is not a useful way to describe what they're actually trying to do.
So Troi sees Lieutenant Brooks again because she has a new lease on life. She cried for 2 entire hours.
Okay.
Yeah. Troi thinks that maybe having one good cry doesn't deal with the death of a close loved one and a lot of time spent in denial about the death of the close loved one. Brooks goes, no, you're wrong. Everything's fine. It's like you can't even do your job without your super empathy powers because I'm completely fine and you're wrong about me. And Troi goes, damn, you're right. I'm so wrong about you.
My psychological training and all of that, it's not worth anything because I can't feel how you're actually feeling, and I just have to take you at face value.
This is the central problem of the entire metaphor. It's like they've given you such a fucking obvious thing that a toddler would know what is happening emotionally with this woman.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just treating Troi like an idiot. It's not, I lost a sense and am dealing with a diminished ability to interact with the world, like a more diminished ability than I'm used to. It's like, you're just being a fucking for no reason.
Like maybe you're panicked because of this change in what's going on with you, but you shouldn't be panicked to this level of absurdity.
But that's the thing. It like turns the entire thing from you have, as they say at one point, essentially gone blind, lost a sensory perception that you are used to having and rely upon, to you just have become unconfident in yourself. So back in the observation lounge, Data has discovered two-dimensional critters.
Oh, wait a moment. Are they geometric shapes?
They seem to be I mean, I guess, because what else would they be?
Are there like squares, hexagons, triangles, and are they organized in a social hierarchy?
No, they seem to be blobs. But blobs is still a geometric shape.
Yeah. Oh, I mean a regular, polygon.
Yeah, there you go. See, geometric shape is too broad.
Yes.
So they don't have any depth. They're like Redditors. You can't detect them because the ship's sensors are facing them on edge. The probe could see them from above. So it's two-dimensional thingies in a three-dimensional universe. So who knows what's going to happen? Physics no longer apply.
We've gone to dimensional interactions that really shouldn't really work at all. Because even if you are two-dimensional, you can still move into a third-dimensional location.
I just kind of love this entire scenario is predicated on the thing that they do in all science fiction. So it's just the thing that they always do. Everyone has agreed on one plane. You have the entirety of 3D space, and everyone's just sort of universally agreed to stay within a couple inches of one plane and stay in the same direction at the same orientation.
Yep.
Because otherwise, this is just such a fucking minuscule chance that you just happen to come on these things from the one angle you wouldn't be able to detect them.
Yes. These two-dimensional object people, entities, whatever, are just happen to be hanging out in our universal plane of interactions. Drat. Foiled again.
Yes, at some point, someone's going to have, like, the Treaty of the Universal Plane agreed on by all spacefaring societies.
That if you're going between, star systems, you have to try to get back to this plane because, it's just fair that way.
Yeah, otherwise your ships could go, like, above each other.
Yeah.
By, like, light years.
Yeah, and, the universe can't be easily mapped in a two-dimensional mapping software anymore.
Yeah, like, we show the universe side on. The Milky Way galaxy is, like, thin compared to how wide it is. Yeah. But that's still light years thick.
It's like over 1,000, so I don't remember the exact number for the Milky Way galaxy, but yeah, it's in that range.
So Geordi thinks that he can basically pop the clutch on the ship and go straight to warp 6, and that should work according to being stuck. I don't know how he's calculating this. Like, it should work according to the laws of a three-dimensional universe. So, like, if you were being trapped by a group of random space spheres, I guess it should work.
Yes.
But these are not spheres, these are ovaloids.
Yeah.
So who knows?
Here's also a question. If we are here and they are strictly in two-dimensional existence there, are they able to like move into the ship?
Hey, who knows?
Yeah, because that might actually be a problem if you try to go to warp.
To imply that they're like interacting with the something or other field around the ship. They're generating a field that's hitting the ship field, and the fields are fielding.
Can we turn off our field?
Maybe not. It's all vibration. You know how everything vibrates, apparently? It's all vibrating.
Well, what if we cool down our ship during the interaction plane there, and hope our we can get it to cold enough temperatures that our natural thermal vibrations are not going to be resonating.
Yeah, there.
Yeah.
I don't know, they
come
never
up with
figured
better solution.
I mean, they don't even try what I would think would be the obvious thing of like, if these things are completely two-dimensional, why not just go up 5 feet?
Well, it kind of looks like it's like intersecting between the saucer section and the warp nacelles. So, something massive would have to go through it, and maybe they just want to avoid risking that, I guess.
So Geordi says, it's too bad that we can't tell if these are sentient creatures. Troi goes, God, just because I can't sense things anymore, you have to come at me like that.
What?
We've reached anger, you see.
Yeah. All right. Well, how many steps of do we have left here?
I think we skip most of them after this because people only remember the first two.
Yeah. There's something about bargaining, right?
Yeah. Later in Sync Bay, Crusher is explaining that she has no idea how to fix Troi. But it's fine because humans have been getting along without empathic abilities for years now. So I don't know why you're so upset, honestly.
Well, thanks for nothing, Crusher.
So Troi very understandably doesn't take this very well and yells at Crusher for not getting to her in time to prevent this.
Well, there might have been people dying somewhere on the ship, and
You don't know. You don't know. Even if they were, we didn't see anybody on the bridge get hurt.
True.
Nobody's more important than that.
Yeah. In fact, we only have so many extras to fill out the rest of the crew. So, there's only like a couple dozen people in total on the ship at any one given time, even though there's maybe over 1,000.
So now Troi goes to Picard to explain why she needs to resign, because she can't do her job. And the only way she can explain how she needs to resign is to completely breach doctor-patient confidentiality.
Yeah, that seems like,
but
a problem there.
Not to describe the way she feels she's failing a patient, which would still be bad, but at least makes some amount of sense. No, it's to describe what is happening with the patient and use it as an allegory for her own situation.
Yeah, that's still bad.
It's like, you see, I'm seeing a patient who's in denial. I also have been in denial.
And, I need to not be in denial. And so I quit.
Yeah. This is the only way I could have told you I was in denial, you see.
No ask for leave or changing my schedule or anything like that. It's I have to stop entirely. This is not an overreaction. You're the one who's overreacting.
Maybe she didn't think Picard would accept this is a reason she can't do her job, so she decided to just blatantly break confidentiality in hopes that he would go like, oh shit, you are bad at your job.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're breaking the confidentiality, I should be firing you anyway. So you kind of forced my hand.
Yeah. So Riker goes to see Troi in her quarters. They have a very nice moment about hugging. They didn't have a way to fit it in. This is just Riker's best line in the thing. So do you solve all of your morale problems with hugs? He says, yeah, you'd be surprised how far a hug goes with Geordi.
Geordi's a big softy. Worf is very, very, shy about it, but yeah, he is too. Data, oddly enough, does accept the hugs, but they don't necessarily help the situation.
Yeah.
He just is like, this is good.
It's like, why is this? Why is this contact supposed to make people feel better? I don't understand.
Now, O'Brien, he's like, I gave him a hug once, but he was like, oh man, this actually reminds me of that time this horrible thing happened to me, and someone gave me a hug.
In the war.
Thanks, sir, but, I'm now depressed again for a different reason.
We haven't gotten to DS9 yet.
Oh, well, we are coming up with, some O'Brien episodes
O'Brien still gets to be happy. O'Brien doesn't get tortured yet. This is still happy O'Brien. So Riker is talking to Troi about how she now has to deal with not being superior to everyone. Because humans are dicks.
Yeah.
It's like, you were always on superior footing. Now you're just like everybody else. She's not human.
She has these abilities, or had them, and, she operated accordingly, And to call her aristocratic, well, have you met her mom?
Yeah, he goes, I always thought your Betazoid heritage was aristocratic. Because it is.
Yeah, she is literally...
She is an aristocrat on Beta Z. This is a thing.
Yeah. Sacred chalices and rings and all that,
We don't know enough about Betazoid culture to know what that means, but she's definitionally an aristocrat.
Maybe everyone on Betazoid has some fancy titles or something like that.
Yeah,
but,
you have the rings, you have the spheres, you got a cube.
And you got the magic shoelaces, and you get whatever this doohickey is.
Yeah.
Sort of a dodecahedron, except there's a weird handle off the side.
I am the keeper of the sacred hyperbolic paraboloid.
And the hidden crown of smells, because instead of reeks.
Yeah. The other plot has to happen for a minute. They don't care about it at all. It's just there most of the episode.
Yeah.
They try to jump to warp, and it don't do nothing. There you go.
Well,
good job.
Yeah, that sucks. Wait a moment. I was thinking, what if you just saucer separate and then send the saucer away and then, use thrusters to pull the lower half of the ship
beam
out for
something.
that last, yeah.
Because we forget that the saucer does that most of the time.
Well, maybe they should remember that.
So Troi goes to be depressed and 10 forward when Guinan comes to talk. She's thinking of becoming the ship's therapist because Troi is quitting.
Oh, that's actually a great idea, Guinan. You're pretty good at this therapy thing, and
it's not bad, actually. She's usually more helpful. Ever since they brought Guinan on board, Troi has had basically nothing to do.
Yeah, she, I guess, handles the rest of the crew, but as far as like bridge officers goes, she just doesn't really interact with them in this capacity.
Troi is kind of skeptical because being a counselor isn't as easy as just listening to people talk at a bar. You need to get people to talk about things they might be hiding or something.
Guinan's pretty good at that too, actually.
Oh, so she knows Guinan isn't serious. But why? Have her empathy powers come back? She can tell Guinan's not being serious, even though she's given no indication that she's not being serious? What?
Well, obviously something's going on here. So what is it, Troi?
She's got human intuition because she's half human.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've stopped writing her like she's a complete fool, so,
It's not like a basic level of interactional, emotional intelligence that any sufficiently social species would need to have basic levels of interaction. It's a special human thing for humans.
Yes. Humans only. In fact, Guinan doesn't have it. It's
not because she was trained and is a therapist or whatever. It's like she has to learn how to rely on her human instincts now. Not just her Betazord abilities that are all aristocratic and hoity.
Worf doesn't have any sort of intuition, so that's why he's always, for sure, that's why he always wants to shoot things, because he has no intuition about things, right?
Yeah. Klingons don't have intuition. Klingons have smash.
When you run into other aliens out there, including, not humans, but look exactly like humans all the time, they don't have intuition either, and that's why they're plans of hats, right?
Yep, they have hats, which are not intuition.
Yes. We're all doing this, or that, or the other thing, and Romans, they don't have intuition, do they?
No.
Totally not.
That's why they're always very bad at their dastardly schemes.
They're just paranoid.
Damn, I didn't think anyone would notice my scheme. So, on the bridge, Data's found that the creatures are dragging the ship to a collision course with a cosmic string fragment, which is like a black hole, but long.
Yes. In fact, if it's a fragment of a cosmic string, it should collapse into a black hole.
Shh. Maybe it's doing that. It just hasn't done it yet. It's like partway doing that.
It's taking its sweet time.
So, now, I'm going to say probably 5/6 of the way through the episode at this point, we have introduced our ticking clock.
Mm-hmm. It's like, there's actually an emergency.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
They need to break out now, because this thing used to be annoying, and now it's, going to destroy the ship.
Oh, we should stop, treating this as a fun science experiment and be like, oh gosh, we have to break out all the stops and stuff.
Worf thinks they should shoot it, of course. They don't know if that would even do anything, because, two-dimensional thingies. They decide to shoot ahead of the swarm's path with torpedoes and see if they can get it to move, but they don't notice. And then they decide to shoot the swarm, and they don't notice. Mm-hmm. So,
that was pointless.
Brooks comes to see Troi again, because Troi forgot to tell her she's quitting, and let's not worry about how the ship's going to be destroyed or anything.
I guess everyone could get in escape pods or something. Maybe
we don't know we don't know if that would work.
Huddles are definitely out, and we can't call for help, right?
Yeah, no, calling for help seems to not be on the table for unexplained reasons. So Brooks comes and goes, "Oh, why would you quit? You were right. I was still trying to avoid things. I wasn't actually fine. You were right after all. Oh my God!
Wow. In that case, maybe I should not quit?
Yeah, you should be confident in your abilities. And that's the entire problem.
Confident in your training. If you want to touch upon human intuition, fine, I guess. But, yes. You are more than just your sense.
The issue was not, in fact, that you lost a sensory organ. It is that You didn't believe in yourself. How could
Some
you?
self-esteem.
Yeah, God. Picard calls Troi to the ready room because he needs her to work on the problem of figuring out how they're all going to die. She's like, I don't know about my powers. And it's like, now is not the time. We are going to die.
Yeah. We have different priorities right now.
It's like, I'm sorry that you feel bad about yourself. You need to go solve this.
I haven't accepted your resignation for a reason here, even though you're still trying to leave.
The worst case scenario, we're going to die anyway. What's the problem? Go help Data, damn it.
You can't read him anyway, so,
So they try to find a pattern in the movements of the critters and thingies, and nothing's really working. And then Troi goes, well, the only thing that makes sense is to assume that if the creatures are heading towards the cosmic string fragment, they mean to, because otherwise it's just sort of random, for no reason. So if we assume that they actually want to go to the thing, then they must know where it is. So if we, trick them into thinking there's another one, maybe they'll move towards that one, and we can control where they go.
Yeah, so we can maybe point them the opposite direction, and we'll get pulled away, and then we can have more time to figure out how to escape this thing.
So Data thinks they can do this by reflecting the vibrations of the string off the main deflector and then basically hologramming them off somewhere else.
Oh, that works. All right, so main deflector becomes magical once again and do the thing.
So they do deflector magic, and it's not working, and then they do it more, and then it starts working. I don't know why they don't ever start with the things at full power, because there doesn't seem to be a downside, and it never works until it's at full power.
Maybe there's a warranty that if you use so much power on it, no one will fix it for you.
Yeah, the Maytag man will not help your deflector shield. So they do the thing, the swarm goes, another cosmic string, and starts moving the other direction, which splits up the swarm and makes the whatever the hell is affecting the ship weak enough that they can leave now. And then also, as soon as they are clear of the field of two-dimensional doodahs, Troi can start feeling stuff again.
Wait a moment, it wasn't brain damage, it was just being overloaded the entire time?
Yeah, and she goes just in time to be able to sense that the swarm is super happy and wanted to go to the cosmic string, so nobody needs to feel sad about it.
All right, so I guess the two-dimensional entities are trying to go to the one-dimensional structure, and that's good.
That's gotta have 2 dimensions if it's long.
It's a little strange. But the short version of a cosmic string, it is a hypothetical object that could maybe exist that has length but no width, but due to its gravitational pull ends up having like a event horizon like a black hole, and so you get this. It is still effectively a one-dimensional object in our three-dimensional universe, so it can have go off in two different directions. But it also has this problem that it kind of needs to be infinitely long in order to not collapse on itself.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know when collectively, as sci-fi writers / consumers, we decided black holes were boring now.
Yeah.
You can't just have a black hole anymore,
because we totally can deal with those, and they're not highly dangerous structures in the universe that are effectively the combination of a pothole and a giant subatomic particle that eats everything.
It's because this is just a black hole, functionally and story wise, what. Yeah. It doesn't need to be a cosmic string.
But it will set up a line in a later episode, and so that's totally important.
That's the entire... They were telling people, you need to put a cosmic string in here. It's important later.
For another kind of Troi-centric episode.
So, in 10 Forward, they explain that Troi's powers were overwhelmed and shut down because there were thousands of little critters, and it was just too much for her mind to handle, and it shut itself down for its own protection. She apologized, being angry to everyone when she was basically having a terrible disability time, but she's learned a valuable lesson about being human now.
All right, and maybe don't panic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As they say, don't panic.
Get yourself a Hitchhiker's Guide, Troi.
And that's Lost, and that's a very 90s disability story.
Yeah.
The problem with your disability is that you don't believe in yourself.
That's totally everything, completely. There's no other things. There's no external societal issues. There's no difficulties with like the physical world that might crop up. It's all about confidence.
Yeah. All right, so this gives us a good excuse to talk about a very controversial theory in disability advocacy. Do you know anything about the social model of disability?
That, is this the external interactions that people are going to effectively try to isolate you because you are different?
Sort of. That's in there. So the social model of disability, to preface, was never meant to be, intended to be, or supposed to be taken as a all-encompassing theory of disability or what it means to be disabled as a person. It is a way to think about a specific kind of interaction that a disabled person would have with the world and how that and what it means to interact in that way. People come to it and go, if disability is social, what about people with chronic pain? Haha, checkmate. That's not, social. That sucks no matter what. Because this is not meant to, address that. It's meant to address a specific thing that it addresses and makes you think about kind of interestingly. So, social model disability came out of the 60s and 70s. Makes a distinction between an impairment and a disability, which is defined socially. An impairment is the actual thing that is affecting you. You cannot see as well as another person. You cannot hear as well as another person. You have something that makes it difficult for you to walk or move as less than an average human would. That is your impairment. Your disability is the societal expectations and structures that have been set up that make that impairment difficult. The person who has trouble walking has a disability because the office they need to go to get a important government document is up a bunch of stairs. That doesn't have to be up a bunch of stairs. We just decided that it is. And it makes it more difficult for this person to get to that government building than a different person would be able to. That is what's defined as disability. And impairment is the actual physical thing. So you can have an impairment, but not necessarily a disability if the society is set up in such a way that the impairment is not something that causes you more difficulty than the average person.
Yeah, for example, if you're now living in a society where there is wheelchair ramps or elevators to all these important things that you must for certain have to interact with, your impairment no longer keeps you from doing these things.
Yeah, so I personally have two things that you could classify as impairments. I have a chronic pain issue, which is migraines, and I have a vision issue, which is I have several things wrong with my eyes that need glasses to see constantly. I don't consider either of those to bring me to the point of disability because I have access to things that help me manage my migraines to a way that they don't normally impact my day-to-day life. That one can get a little iffy because it still can, but I have access to medications and various treatments that help me manage my migraines. And I've always had access to fairly easy to get and effective eyewear that manages my ability to see to the point where it's no longer disabling. If I couldn't have those, if glasses either weren't invented or I wasn't in a place or social status where I could easily obtain them, it would be a disability because it would greatly impact my ability to interact with the world.
Yes, there are parts of the world where getting eyeglasses that actually help us counteract vision issues to the point of no longer causing you issues for interacting with people. That it's not necessarily available, or the quality is not up to par in terms of what you would actually need.
Yeah, which is where the social part of the social model comes in. Because of both where I live and my socioeconomic status, I can fairly easily and affordably fix my impairment to a point where it no longer impacts my day-to-day life in a way that makes it any more difficult for me to interact with the world than any other average person.
I myself have eyeglasses, and without them, I can still get most things done, but it does make a few things either difficult or potentially dangerous. If I'm driving at night and I don't have glasses on, well, there's now a bunch of lights around me, and I don't necessarily able to tell the difference between the car headlights and just some random light off that way. So, yeah, that could be a problem.
Yeah, I haven't been tested in a while, but I'm pretty sure I'm at the point where I legally shouldn't be able to drive without my glasses. I might still be able to, but I shouldn't.
I've not been given that sort of contingent on it because I always wear them anyway. And so when I've done license renewal, they're like, oh, okay, I guess we're not going to worry about that then.
Yeah, I have the thing on my license that says must wear glasses.
Mm-hmm. I guess I also have an impairment with my anxiety that if I didn't have access to medications that would, let me manage that, I start physically finding myself in constant kind of disabling, pain. I mean, like disabling as in I am not able to like move around anymore, sort of stuff there at times, and that can be quite the impairment of trying to get out and do stuff.
So this gets you into a couple of interesting things in the way that we talk about and think about disability, because there are entire segments of the community that do not consider themselves to be disabled within their own community spaces, whereas the rest of the world not only thinks of them as disabled, but is actively trying to fix them. One thing that I know about specifically from some things that I did in college, the deaf community and the deaf and hard of hearing community does not consider themselves to be disabled. They are simply a group of people with their own language and culture. So
that they interact with each other just fine, It's just different from interactions with everybody else.
So the idea that you can, cure deafness is something that's incredibly controversial for people in the deaf and hard of hearing community, because it's not something that they feel merits a cure, and it is tantamount to the erasure of a particular social group and culture.
Yeah, it's sort of a, make it an option if folks want it, but don't be trying to force it on anybody.
But you still have a little bit of the thing. If it's easier for parents to give their kids an implant than to learn American Sign Language, then you are cutting yourself and others off from this community of people who is kind of bound by a shared language and culture.
So again, there's always the stickiness with dealing with parenting / growing up, potentially disrupting one's best personal path forward.
Which this is one of the places that this and a lot of other sort of science fiction disability allegories get into a bad place, because humanity is considered to be such a default in this situation that no one is actually dealing with Troi's loss of ability as a disability, partially because of this social idea that it's not. The entire society that she exists within is set up to accommodate people who do not have this particular sense. So, in a very real way from the social theory, she is not disabled. She is just like everybody else who is expected to live and interact with the world in the way that it is set up and designed to be interacted with from their perspective.
And, so it's an impairment, but not a disability in that case.
Which means that by not taking it seriously, they are just ignoring her impairment now, because her impairment brought her to the level of a normal person.
And so she's still experiencing distress from this, and so, maybe help her with that.
Which, I don't know anyone directly in these communities, so I can't say for certain. But it's kind of like if someone now became deaf from having been a hearing person their entire life, and everyone went, don't worry about it, you can just learn ASL and go join this other community. It's like nothing's happened to you, actually.
Which is not true. Obvious, I know, but, I suppose in terms of the episode structure, if you still want to sort of tackle this sort of thing of Troi getting an impairment of her empathic abilities, maybe have part of what's going on involve interacting with other betazoids. And so we could compare and contrast between, the human reaction to what's going on to her, sort of native culture, reactions to it. And maybe we'd have a less awkward situation in the episode.
Yes, because they don't even want to do that. This should have been an episode that happened while her mom was visiting or something.
Yeah.
Which could have both been, look at how disability affects someone because it's cutting you off from your culture, modes of communication, ways of understanding the world that you had grown used to and possibly relied upon. And also the way that people who don't have that disability are dicks to you. You could even turn it into an allegory of finding your community within other people who have the same impairment that you do and have formed a community around that, i.e. humans.
Yeah. Troi does have a complicated relationship with her mother, and you can, make, some good use of that. But, it also could also be an opportunity for her to get closer to her mom. It's like, I can feel how you are struggling with this, and I might not be able to understand the totality of how things have changed for you, but I want to be here and help you all the same. And if that means, letting you become closer to the cultural of the humans around you as opposed to more betazoid things, I'm going to be fine with that. But this is all about making sure we're doing the best for you, Diana. So
I think the other particular place that they didn't want to write things well, and I see why it would be a challenge. They gave her a situation that she's supposed to be struggling with dealing with that is like toddler level emotional empathy.
Yes.
And they don't even show that she's having trouble understanding it. You could have that. Like, if you are completely reliant and have for your entire life been reliant on having a, supernatural extra sense that lets you instantly know what anybody's emotions are. And so you never had to learn body language or social cues or other things. It could make sense that you would not immediately adapt to that. But she's immediately adapted to that. She just lacks confidence in herself for some reason.
And, if you want to have an episode where Troi is losing confidence in herself, there's maybe a better way to go about this.
They certainly weren't going to do it, but what they should have done if they wanted to show anything is Troi should have immediately become autistic.
Yeah.
Just walked into a room and go like, oh, are people upset at me for some reason? I have no idea why or how or what I'm doing.
Yes. It's like, Data, I know he's never going to be really upset with me here, but the rest of you guys, how do I interact with you now?
Yeah, you aren't having what would be a fairly realistic idea of losing this thing that you rely on, of doing something that upsets people and go like, are you upset? I'm getting upset. I'm not sure, though. Is that an upset face?
And it would require, I guess, more care in sort of how things were presented here. And, we weren't going to get that, were we?
No, we weren't.
A lot.
Yeah, that's all the thing. This fails as disability, but it does give you an interesting window. It's a very good way to describe the social theory of disability, because in the social theory of disability, Troi is not disabled. The entire world is designed around accommodating this type of person that she is now equal to. So there is no disability because the world is designed around this and the way that you interact with the world as this type of person.
It does also present how folks are either empathetic towards her or kind of not, but maybe with a good reason, because we're all going to die.
Well, even I feel like they kind of show it's in some way, and I'll give them some kind of pass. They don't give us enough on their relationship to say how Riker learned this is the right way to interact with her. They give him a lot of tough love stuff, which I guess they're showing that's how she wants to be interacted with, and that's why they got along as a couple. But mostly it makes them look like they have a bad relationship.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, now you're back down to Earth. Yeah. Imagine if you talked about that with any other fucking impairment. It's like, God, you having 2 feet. Now you've lost a foot. I always thought you having 2 feet made you feel superior to me.
You don't have a magnetic direction sense anymore? Wow. What a drag, eh?
Yeah, too bad for you. I forget what it's called. There's this odd little mental thing that can happen to people where your left and right just suddenly switch mentally, and it completely fucks up your sense of direction. Can give you intense vertigo, makes it basically impossible for you to navigate. Feels like if this kind of thing happened, you're like, yeah, your ability to walk always made it feel like you were superior to me. It's the same sort of thing. It's just a random mental thing that can happen that seriously impairs your ability to function, but nobody would see it. And you'd be like, God, you could always find where you were on a map, and you made fun of me for it. It's so uptight and aristocratic.
Yeah, that's a unusual way to sort of frame how some absurd, this interactions were here. And I think Riker kind of needs to like get his head out of the ass in this episode to a certain degree.
A little bit, yeah.
And, like, he kind of does by the end, but still.
Like they start that scene in her quarters so nice. It's like, I don't want you to be here. Well, too bad. I'm here to support and care about you. And then they hug and it's nice. And he's like, God, you're such a bitch.
Well, that went downhill.
How does it feel to be on the same plane as everybody else, huh, Your Highness?
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe that this could have been a great opportunity for Troi to be kind of not picking up that he's trying to do tough love with her.
Yeah, you could do that, because, like, she can't emotionally tell. He's like, this has always worked in the past, because, like, I can, give my direct opinion, and she can just sense mentally that I'm not angry or upset or whatever. It's always worked. But now, she's like, holy fuck, why are you being such a dick to me?
Yeah. So, maybe have her react more poorly here might be a better way. Get out, and just like start off yelling and then go to Picard and say, Riker was very inappropriate to me. And Picard's like, are you sure it wasn't like that tough love? I've seen how you interact with each other before.
It's
and
like, shit.
Oh,
what?
Wait a moment.
She and Data should have just bonded way more on this.
Yes.
Like, yeah, I also don't know what the fuck these people are doing most of the time.
Would you like to see my journal about all this? You've been journaling about this the whole time? Well, yes, but I didn't mention it.
Yeah, that's next episode.
That is true. I've already talked about cosmic strings and how to have a fragment of one is kind of silly, but maybe it's like a cosmic string, but in 4 dimensions?
Yeah, cosmic cube?
Well, the cosmic string is only partially in our 3-dimension space, and then there's parts that are elsewhere. Maybe that solves everything. So in the mirror universe, the rest of the cosmic string is there.
Yeah, so the little things, the little 2-dimensional things are actually 3-dimensional things in the mirror universe. So what fish in the mirror universe look like?
But they are missing one slice out of their 3-dimensional structure there. They have to come back together, man. Yeah, so don't be dicks to people. Be cognizant of impairments versus actual disabilities, and if you're able to make sure to install stuff that makes life easier for folks that don't have the same abilities as yourself.
Yeah, reminds me of no one ever did anything with it. You remember in Mass Effect, they had the completely unemotive species that has to preface every sentence with the way they're feeling?
No, I've not actually played Mass Effect, but other people have.
They have the Elcors, and they communicate with each other emotionally through like scent and very minor body language that other species can't pick up on. So they have to preface every sentence with excited. That sounds like a really good time.
Glad you're excited.
Warm emotional tone. Thank you. I appreciate you.
That is wonderful.
Yeah. Same thing, other direction.
In a more absurd direction, I'm now also thinking of Curse of the Fatal Death and the aliens that communicate through smells and how the Doctor, learned how to do that in order to set up predestination traps.
Yeah, because they needed to set up the entire thing as one elaborate fart joke.
Yeah, like, I'm going to communicate with the Master in a way that the Daleks cannot.
Hey, one day we'll cover Mass Effect or something in a side project when we get this thing worked out.
All right. So look forward to the future, just in general, I suppose.
Yeah, in general.
Let's make sure the future is a good one.
Yeah.
I know.
As much as inside our sphere of control.
Well, all else fails, I'll build a doomsday machine. How about that?
Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah, because if things are going to suck in the future, might as well have it suck in an interesting way.
Yeah, remember, you have to tell everyone.
Yes.
That's what I learned from Dr. Strangelove.
If you have a doomsday machine or the equivalent thereof, and you don't tell anyone, no one's going to care what you have to say.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's all I got.
Yeah, I think we've strayed. We've strayed far enough that we've gotten to the galaxy's favorite game show. Woohoo!
Hey everybody, welcome to the Galaxy's favorite game show, where we got various contestants. Some of them are a little hard to see because they're kind of thin here. But yeah, they've been racking up points throughout the episode, and it's time to hand out their rewards. The first one is the Menacing Geometry Prize, which goes to the Flat Lifeforms and the Cosmic String for their lack of 3 dimensions while putting the ship at risk altogether. What do they win, Gepwin?
They win a complete disruption of their social hierarchy because they encountered the Enterprise, which even flat isn't a circle or triangle or square or any other regular shape. It's so weird, and it gave people sexual proclivities and upended their entire society.
Well, hopefully when they figure out the joys of kinks, they'll be much happier as a result, and maybe a little freer along the way. Our second prize is the human factor, which goes to Troi for finding herself without empathic abilities, so ending up just like any old human. Kind of a drag, isn't it? But anyway, what did she win?
Well, I didn't think of it this way, but keeping with the kink theme, Troi gets a beaten stick. Nobody listens to her, probably because she's a little short. So she needs a beaten stick for every time somebody says, well, now you need to rely on your human side. She can hit them over the head with her beating stick and go like that? Like that human side, huh?
Yep. I'll endorse this. Try go and smack some sense into everybody for us, won't you? And the final prize today is the Space Boot Prize, which goes to the Flat Lifeform specifically because they stopped the ship and won't go until the puzzle is solved. What do they win?
They win to increase their 2-dimensional state budget through parking tickets.
They are kind of setting up the Enterprise into their own personal parking lot, so yeah, it makes sense. Picard, the payment is coming due pretty soon. Make sure to find that capitalist. He might have some money to help with that.
The Federation doesn't have money, but do they have 2-dimensional money?
Would that be like worse than Bitcoin somehow?
Yeah, it's probably like a NFT or something.
Yeah, which I guess kind of is like Bitcoin. So yeah,
NFT is Bitcoin, but worse somehow.
It's a 2-dimensional image that, it's like Bitcoin. So you look at it, but nobody wants to buy it from you because, they have their own they've already bought.
Is it a 2-dimensional image? That's an interesting one. Because according to a computer, it's a string of numbers that gives you like color and position coordinates for a variety of pixels. Does that count as a 2-dimensional image?
Well, if you make sure to include line breaks for breaking it up. Otherwise, it's just a long string of colors.
Yeah, like once you've encoded it, fine. But like before you've encoded it, which is the thing you're actually like putting in there, then it's not anything. Then it's numbers.
Yeah, just a string of stuff.
Yeah, just like cryptocurrency.
Yep. So maybe Picard can use some sort of cryptocurrency to get the space boot off in here, and if this ever encounters happens again, all right?
Yeah.
All right. So crypto sucks. And that's all I got here for prizes, unless I wanted to hand out something to Riker. But he's been too much of a dick this episode, so no.
Yeah, they need one. Yep. They need one new Star Trek episode where they go to the planet where it's all crypto bros, and they have to explain how not only do they use money, which the Federation doesn't understand, it's somehow worse than money.
Yep. You have to, mine it, and it becomes more difficult to mine with each one we come up with. So it's a very asymptotic limitation.
So let me get this straight. You're using all of the energy and water on your planet to mine fake strings of numbers that represent money.
Mm-hmm. And what are you going to buy with it? You've already used everything.
Anyway, yes, you can hire us to write new Strange New Worlds episodes. This seems like the kind of quality they're going for nowadays. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe the Orville. That sounds like an Orville plot.
Or maybe a crossover between the two.
Ooh, that's probably coming.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you all for being here on the Galaxy's favorite game show. Woohoo!
You want to learn to dance?
Yeah, it's the O'Brien episode we keep talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Brian gets a tiny bit tortured.
Yeah.
Just a little bit as a treat.
Doesn't like kelp, was it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Kelp is delicious, and I will not hear aspersions.
I don't know if I've ever had kelp.
Good. It tastes
also,
exactly like it smells.
So I guess if I don't enjoy the smell, I should be careful.
Yeah, you could be a little careful. It's really good in certain kinds of Chinese food, and we get it at there's like an Asian market nearby where you can get it salted, and you like soak it and boil it and put it in stuff. Very good.
This is also the episode that introduces several key characters for the rest of the series, like Spot, isn't it?
Yeah, Spot, one of the most important characters coming through all of the upcoming series.
Mm-hmm. And as well as the most badass character in all of Star Trek, Keiko.
Yep.
Yeah, because she's put up with a lot of crap throughout the years, and she's still managed to hang on somehow.
Didn't realize Spot is a trans cat.
Yep. Keeps flipping between genders.
Yeah. In the future, even the cats are trans.
It's like, a Spot, it's a independent kitty, and Data supports their choices, so that's good. There's also, Mott the Barber.
Oh, yeah. Good old Mott. He comes up a lot, too. So this is a very pivotal episode, actually.
Yes. Though I will say in terms of the loss, what we just talked about and all that there, we finally kind of got away from mostly family stuff, except for the one character there. But we're kind of getting back to it with O'Brien forming a family by getting married. Yeah,
we're back on. I don't know where they are with this. We're like halfway through the series at this point, more or less.
Yeah.
So it's a good point to start bringing things back together.
Mm-hmm. So there's a lot going on this next episode, and I remember it was pretty good overall. But
yeah, as far as I remember, it's a very day in the life, which is fun on these things.
Mm-hmm. And maybe Star Trek needs a little bit more of that sometimes.
So next time, it's Data's Day, where Data talks about his day. It's a very interesting day.
Now there's, haircuts, there's weddings, there's Romulan plots. It has everything.
And it also, continues reminding you that there's this other guy who they decide is real important in Star Trek Picard.
Mm-hmm. Next time on Watchers of Tomorrow, Data learns to dance. You have been listening to Watchers of Tomorrow, a podcast on science fiction media. Find and listen to Watchers of Tomorrow on Podbean, YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, Digital Podcasts, Pocket Casts, Google Play, and many more places where podcasts can be found. If you enjoyed our podcast, make sure to subscribe for more. And make sure to rate your experience or leave us a review. You may find Gepwin on YouTube as Gepwin and on Pillow Fort. You may find Dr. Isix, on YouTube and Blue Sky. Music is Waveform and Mori's Principle, both by DRKRN, and Quirky Dog by Kevin MacLeod. Check out the Watchers of Tomorrow Discord channel. You may also find Watchers of Tomorrow on Tumblr. Make sure to share the experience of Watchers of Tomorrow with your friends, loved ones, enemies, alien overlords, and your doppelganger from the mirror dimension. Have a good day, and ahead, warp factor heckin' fast.